Have you ever wondered what it's like inside one of those massive cargo ships you see on the horizon or docked at a busy port? Today, we're diving deep into the world of cargo ships, or as they're called in Hindi, Mal Doan Bala Jahaza, the giants of global trade that move everything from your favorite smartphone to the clothes you're wearing right now. In this video, I'll take you through a detailed review of a typical cargo ship, covering everything from its exterior structure and machinery, to its interior design, performance, and finally the cost, what it takes to actually own or operate one of these giants. Let's start from the outside. The exterior of a cargo ship is perhaps one of the most impressive aspects. Standing beside one at port is like standing next to a floating skyscraper. These ships are designed for maximum efficiency and strength. The hull, which is the outer shell, is made of high-strength steel, built to withstand rough ocean conditions and carry enormous weight. Some of the largest cargo ships, like the Triple-E class vessels, can be over 400 meters long and can carry upwards of 20,000 20-foot containers. That's enough space to move the contents of an entire city block. On deck, the cargo containers are stacked in a perfectly calculated arrangement to maintain balance, weight distribution, and structural integrity. There are huge cranes and hydraulic arms, but most modern ports now use shore-based gantry cranes for loading and unloading. Still, the deck is a busy, highly organized area. There are also escape hatches, crew access points, and safety equipment like lifeboats and emergency rafts strategically placed around the edges. Now let's move inside, where things are very different from what you might expect. The bridge, which is essentially the control center of the ship, is located at the top of the main structure and provides a 360-degree view of the ocean. It's filled with advanced navigational tools like radar, GPS, sonar, and autopilot systems. The captain and officers work here to steer the ship, manage its route, and monitor weather and sea conditions. The engine room, on the other hand, is located deep inside the hull, and it's the heart of the vessel. Most cargo ships run on large, slow-speed, two-stroke diesel engines that produce tens of thousands of horsepower. Some of these engines are as tall as a three-story building and consume tons of fuel per day. Newer vessels are starting to shift toward dual fuel systems and even LNG, liquefied natural gas, to reduce emissions and improve efficiency. As for the living quarters, they're functional but basic. Cargo ships typically carry between 20 to 30 crew members depending on the size of the ship and the length of the journey. Each crew member usually gets their own cabin with a small bed, desk, wardrobe, and sometimes a personal bathroom. There's a common dining area called the mess hall, a galley where food is prepared, and shared recreation areas like a gym, a small theater or lounge, and sometimes even a tiny library. The interiors aren't luxurious by any means, but they are comfortable enough for the months that crew members spend at sea. When it comes to performance, cargo ships are not about speed, they're about endurance, fuel efficiency, and carrying capacity. The average cruising speed of a cargo ship is between 20 to 25 knots, which translates to about 37 to 46 kilometers per hour. That may sound slow, but when you're carrying 200,000 tons of goods, speed becomes a secondary priority. The focus is on reducing fuel consumption per container, which is why many modern cargo ships are designed to optimize hydrodynamics, meaning the shape of the hull and propellers is refined to minimize drag in water. These ships are also equipped with stabilizers and ballast systems to handle rough seas. Ballast tanks can be filled with water to adjust the ship's balance and stability depending on the load and sea conditions. Some of the newest vessels even have advanced weather routing software that uses satellite data and predictive analytics to choose the safest and most fuel-efficient path across the ocean. Another major performance factor is cargo management. The way containers are loaded and unloaded affects not only efficiency at the port but also the ship's balance and safety during the voyage. That's why container placement is meticulously planned using software before a single box is lifted onto the ship. Let's now talk about the cost, and this is where things get really interesting. A brand new cargo ship can cost anywhere from $50 million to over $150 million, depending on the size, engine type, fuel system, and onboard technology. The largest ships, like the Triple-E or ULCS ultra-large container ships, are at the higher end of this spectrum. But it's not just the purchase price you have to consider. Operating costs are substantial too. Annual operating costs for a cargo ship can range from $5 million to $10 million. That includes crew salaries, maintenance, repairs, insurance, port fees, fuel costs, and regulatory compliance. Speaking of fuel, one of the biggest expenses is bunker fuel, the heavy, viscous type used in marine engines. A single ship can burn hundreds of tons of fuel per day, and with fluctuating oil prices, this cost can skyrocket. However, despite these high costs, cargo shipping remains one of the most cost-efficient ways to move goods globally. When you break down the cost per container per kilometer, it's far cheaper than air transport and even some forms of rail and truck transport. This is why over 90% of global trade moves by sea. There's also a rising focus on sustainability. Many companies are investing in cleaner fuel alternatives, hull designs that reduce drag, and even exploring wind-assisted propulsion using massive sails or kites. Some futuristic concepts include fully electric cargo ships and even autonomous vessels that would operate without human crew. To sum it all up, cargo ships are marvels of modern engineering. They may not have the glamour of cruise ships or the speed of jetliners, but they play a critical role in the global economy. From their rugged steel hulls to their powerful engines and surprisingly comfortable interiors, these vessels are built to perform, endure, and deliver. Whether you're interested in engineering, logistics, or just love massive machines, cargo ships represent the incredible scale and complexity of global trade. So the next time you see one far out on the ocean or docked at a port, take a moment to appreciate the journey it's on, and the billions of lives it touches through the goods it carries.